Welcome to Conrad Dubai. Here's your key.
Thank you.
Let me help you with the bags.
Nice room.
How's that? How's that?
How's that?
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
Good morning and a warm welcome to the final day of this county championship fixture, this extraordinary county championship fixture really, here at Emirates Old Trafford, live across Lancashire TV. We welcome listeners across the BBC Sport website and app as well. We're just under 10 minutes away from the start of this fourth and final day, which had the most dramatic start on the first day with 21 wickets falling. And who would have thought, here we are, we could potentially be the last game to finish in this round of fixtures, even though we had 21 wickets on the first day. The prize at stake for both these two sides are very different prizes, very different aims, but both significant for each club. For Somerset, they need to score some runs here. They need to score 189 more of them to maintain their title push. And for Lancashire, they need 4 wickets to survive, or at least to take their survival into next week against Worcestershire. Likewise for Somerset, a win keeps them in the race heading into the final week of the season. Scott Reed and Anthony Gibson with you here up in the commentary box. Anthony's alongside me. Good morning. It's been some 4 days, hasn't it?
It has. It's been an extraordinary game of cricket, and just shows what an influence the pitch can have on how a 4-day game of county cricket can turn out, because it's the pitch that's dictated everything. It was a bit wet, damp on the first day, which offered the seamers plenty of help. Since then it's dried out, and it's now pretty flat, which means that Somerset still have some hope of scoring the 189 runs that they need to keep their championship challenge alive. It's only a sliver of hope, but it's there.
It's the hope that kills you.
Oh, don't say that.
Yes, so Somerset resuming on 204 for 6. The way it ended last night, and especially with that final wicket coming in, what turned out to be the final ball of the day, the way it ended last night was kind of sums up the game, doesn't it? It was another twist in what has been a game of high drama.
Yes, it was a cruel blow in the last over, because Casey Aldridge is a more than useful lower middle order batsman. Got 100 here, admittedly under very different circumstances last season, but he can bat. And it was a wicket that Somerset could have done without losing at that stage in the proceedings. It meant that, you know, at the end of play, close of play yesterday, their mood would have been a bit down. Archie Vaughan, when I spoke to him, was doing his best to be positive, as well he should do after that excellent innings of his, opening the innings and scoring 68, and partnership of 105 with Tom Lammonby. He'd played his part, Lammonby had played his part. But those wickets thereafter really hurt Somerset. But you know, they've got. I think if James Rue can really put a serious innings together, he's got enough support from Lewis Gregory and Craig Overton, both vastly experienced all-rounders, you know, to give Lancashire a bit of a fright at the very least. It's not over and done with yet. But if Rue is removed reasonably early, then I don't think Somerset's chances will be very good.
Yeah, just watching some of the wickets that fell for viewers on Lex TV on the third day. George Balderson picking up a couple of well, every wicket's key, isn't it, when you're at this stage of a game? And then Luke Wells with 2 as well. So those dismissals, when partnerships were just starting to form for Somerset in their second innings, that big opening partnership, well, for the second wicket, Vaughan and Lammonby was effectively the opening partnership because Umeed survived just a couple of deliveries. That didn't go on, but it was a good base. It was the Rue and Aldridge that looked like they just got Somerset towards the close of play. 49 runs they put on together. That looked like being the key, didn't it? But I suppose from Somerset that they've got to believe that with Rue still there and with some big hitters to come, this is doable if one can anchor one end potentially.
Exactly. As long as Rue is still there, Somerset will have hope. And the other thing, the other hope that I'm clinging to is that Lancashire in their second innings lost their 6th wicket with a score on 168. And went on to score another 230 runs. Admittedly, one of those 6 wickets was the night watchman, Will Williams. But it shows that on this pitch, it can be done.
We welcome listeners on 5 Sports Extra as well. So we're just 2 or 3 minutes away from the start of this game here at Emirates Old Trafford. So 189 to win for the visitors to keep the title race going to the final day of the season, and 4 wickets required for Lancashire as well. The players just starting to drift out from the dressing rooms and just going through their final preparations. Of course, this is the final game of the season here at Emirates Old Trafford. So lots of supporters will be saying farewell and see you next summer. For one man in particular, it's his final day here in an official capacity, and that is Lancashire's first team scorer, Chris Rimmer. This is his penultimate game as Lancashire's first team scorer, his final game here at Emirates Old Trafford, and the Lancashire scorer in the team huddle, and certainly receiving plenty of congratulations from his colleagues, from the players, as he calls time on his career. He's been a full-time scorer since 1982. He's been with the club since 1999, starting with the under-13s and then the juniors and the academy, the second team scorer, and 9 years as Lancashire's first team scorer. We think somewhere in the region of 576 first team matches that Chris has scored. So congratulations on your retirement, Chris. 1 more to go next week at Worcester, but bowing out here at Emirates Old Trafford. And Lancashire cricket has been a better place with you involved, Chris. Good luck in the future.
Yes, always a reassuringly genial presence is Chris Rimmer. And it was always great to see him down at Taunton with the Somerset scorer, Polly Rhodes.
So he'll be getting his scorebook ready and his pencils and pens all good to go for one last time here at Emirates Old Trafford. There goes the sound of the bell, the 5-minute bell. So we're on the brink of this final day. It's a measure of the county championship as a competition that we're actually here at this point. And as Anthony mentioned a few moments ago, that wonderful element of cricket, that one thing you cannot predict. You can discuss players' form, you can discuss the weather, you can discuss teams that are doing well and teams that are struggling, bowlers bowling well, batters batting well or not. The one thing you can't quite be certain of is how is that pitch going to play over the course of 4 days. And after 21 wickets on the opening day, here we go, heading out for day 4. Still uncertain as to where this game's going. It's been a brilliant 4 days.
Yeah, and Somerset need but 189. I mean, that's going to take them potentially 2 sessions, so we could still theoretically be going at tea time. But that remains to be seen. Lancashire will be expecting to to take these last 4 wickets pretty quickly. It was interesting hearing your interview with Luke Wells last night, and when he was describing how he bowls the ball, and the fact that he's a Rashid Khan style of leg spinner who sort of flicks his leg break, he was explaining, and bowls quite a lot of googlies, and bowls them at quite good pace as well. He was very self-deprecating about his comparison with Rashid Khan, I should say. But it was fascinating hearing him talking about it, and about how he changes the position of his fingers in the run-up, depending on whether he's going to bowl the leg break or the googly. Something for Somerset's batsman to watch out for.
yeah, he was giving us the full demonstration, wasn't he?
Yeah. I gave Lewis Gregory a brief teach-in last evening. Here we go then. It's Wells to complete his over. He's bowled Gregory first ball. Oh dear, dear, dear. That one, that was the googly, and it came back into Gregory and has knocked his middle stump out. And that, I'm afraid, just about knocks Somerset's hopes on their head. And it means that Luke Wells will be on a hat-trick. Well, fine piece of bowling.
Yeah, what a start for Lancashire. What a reaction from Luke Wells as well. We're just discussing Wells and that ability that he's got, the way he's worked on his bowling. That one sneaks through the forward press from Gregory right into the stumps, and he peers back down the pitch wondering, what on earth was Anthony Gibson saying to me last night?
He didn't pick the googly, did he? Oh dear.
But 204 for 7. Crushing blow for Somerset's hopes. Huge boost for Lancashire. And 2-2, the final ball, what turned out to be the final ball, of course, of last night. This over started last night. And as you say, 2-2 for Wells, who's now on a hat-trick. And you wouldn't rule it out in the game that we've had this week. It's been that type of match, hasn't it, really, where the unpredictable seems to happen, or the unusual seems to happen.
Craig Overton walks out swinging his bat like a windmill in the way that certain IT Botham used to many years ago. And he just has a chat with James Rue. I'll leave you, Scott, to describe the hat-trick ball, just in case. But I suspect Craig Overton isn't going to hang around here. He's going to play his shots, if I know Big Craig. I think the demise of Lewis Gregory has probably accounted for any hopes that Somerset might have had. Because he, of the last 4 Somerset batsmen, he's the one most capable, would have been the one most capable of playing the sort of long innings that Somerset need.
Yes, it's a cruel blow for Somerset. It's just about the most perfect start. The game starts actually with that first ball of the innings where Jennings was dropped. First ball of the match, Jennings was dropped. And the first ball of the Somerset's second innings, the second ball of that innings, there was a wicket. There's been things happening at the start of a day's play or at the start of an innings.
Well, it keeps us commentators on our toes anyway.
He does, yeah.
No gentle introduction to the day's play.
Andy Umeed was out first ball, wasn't he, of the Somerset first innings? Jennings dropped first ball of Lancashire's first innings.
Umeed out first ball in the first innings and second ball in the
second. Yeah,
it's not a game that, well, he probably will remember it, unfortunately, but for all the wrong reasons.
Luke Wells has got 4 catches around the bat. Leg slip, silly point, and forward short leg. Started last night with a wicket. Starts this morning with a wicket. Can he go again? Here's Wells in and bowls, and played off the front foot by Craig Overton, gently, calmly away back towards Luke Wells. There's no run.
I fancy that was another googly as well.
I think that tends to be his stock delivery. I'm not so sure how much he does get the leg spinner in, speaking to him in the past.
He's bowling to Craig Overton. He's in and bowls. Full toss, driven away through the offside, and that will run away to the extra cover boundary for 4 runs for Somerset's first runs of the day. They move on to 208 now for 7. And well, Craig Overton's having a good season with the bat. He's scored 350 runs in 14 innings before this game at average of just under 39. and is a more than capable batsman. Didn't do very much in the first innings. Survived just 7 deliveries. Wells then, last ball of the first over. And Overton's back on it, leaving that outside the off stump, thinking it might be a leg break. Didn't turn quite enough to knock out his off stump, but that's a brilliant first over from Luke Wells, and it included the wicket of Somerset's captain, Lewis Gregory. 208 for 7 at the end of it.
Well, Luke Wells last night chatting to us at the close of play, talking about Lancashire's fight that they've shown over the course of the last few days. As I mentioned this yesterday, it's not like Lancashire are trying to sugarcoat their season. The players I speak to as ever, and indeed the management staff, are as honest about their deficiencies this season and where it's gone wrong this season, but certainly in the course of the last 2 or 3 days, perhaps with in the end not enough time left, have found actually some form. Have found some ways of putting together a total on the board and offering a real threat with the ball as well. And that's what they've done over the course of the last couple of days. Anderson Phillip from the Brian Statham end. I don't think he's bowled too much from this end, having been busy from the top end, but he's in, and that's driven by James Root out towards cover where, well, the man of the moment, Luke Wells, fields. And there's no addition to the score. Of course, Wells himself dropping down the order, and again he spoke really well last night about that.
I thought he gave a really good interview, actually, and talking about, you know, very mixed feelings when he was moved down the order. You know, felt that perhaps he hadn't been doing his job properly, and it was effectively a demotion. Although he's feeling happier about it now. Yeah,
he said he felt like he'd let everybody down.
Yeah,
he didn't let anybody down in this game. Anderson Phillip into Root, plays off the front foot, and the ball nips past the edge of the bat and in towards the gloves of Hurst. Yeah, it's a pretty frank from Luke Wells, and mixed emotions about dropping down the order, but he returned with a brilliant innings.
He was very honest about Lancashire's season as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Which I think most of the players, and certainly the coaching staff, the management staff, they're not trying to sugarcoat it. I suppose you can't really. And they've responded well in this game. Here's Anderson Phillip in, driven away by Root off a thick inside edge. And Harry Singh's at mid-wicket to field. And there's no run. Yeah, in the second innings for Lancashire, Luke Wells making 130. It was, I'm sure, a real relief for him with those mixed emotions as he discussed last night, but that, dropping down the order has maybe helped him free up a little bit, and he cashed in that second innings for Lancashire to get him to 398, and that lead, that target, full ball by Phillip, speared in towards the off stump of James Root, brings the bat down. The ball is chipped down towards wide third for a single. Root moves to 25, and Somerset 209 for 7. If you're late on parade, just flicking on the TV for Lancs TV, or just accessing your smart speaker, or flicking the DAB on for 5 Sports Extra, or you're on your app or the website for the BBC Sport, well, you've missed a wicket already. The very first ball of the day, one that came back in towards Gregory and it went past the inside edge from Luke Wells and hammered into the stumps. So a dramatic start to the day. Here's Phillip over the wicket, balls again. Oh, that kept low. Oh, he's given it. Overton's gone. 2 early wickets here for Lancashire. Somerset, their title hopes hanging by a thread. Surrey are smiling in London, and Lancashire feel they can take it to the final week for their relegation survival. Anderson Phillip gets his second. Somerset 209 for 8.
Well, he is a skiddy fast bowler, is Anderson Phillip, and that one skidded through on Craig Overton, and pretty plumb that was. Don't see how the umpire could not give that out as it hit Overton on his back leg, only a foot or so in front of the stumps. So, well, whatever hopes Somerset may have had, I'm afraid have just about been dashed. So I'd better say good morning to Wayne Trott over there on the hotel with the Somerset flag before this game is over. There he is. Good to see the Somerset Dragon, red dragon on the yellow background. Wayne Trott said on a tweet last night, "Look out for our Somerset flag on the hotel balcony again tomorrow morning. We aren't giving up." Well, I think the time will. There he is. Time will shortly come when even the most die-hard Somerset supporter will have to give up. But well, there's still a lot to play for next week in the game against Hampshire. There he is, giving us a wave. Morning, Wayne.
You've enjoyed your trip to Manchester. Yeah, it might not have gone your way in terms of the at the minute in terms of the result you're looking for, but hopefully you've enjoyed your trip up towards Manchester.
And a wonderful view of the play from because the pitch is on that hotel side of the ground as well, and the weather's been glorious.
It has, hasn't it?
It has.
Even I'm surprised. To 209 for 8, with one ball left of Anderson Phillips' first over of the day. So it's Randall, the new batter, with Lancashire 2 wickets away from taking it to next week. 2 wickets away from Surrey's title for a 3rd year on the spin, and 2 wickets away for heartbreak for Somerset. In and balls to Randall. That's just nudged away off the pad out towards mid-wicket for a single. Harry Singh's there to field. 210 for 8 now.
Well, Brett Randall lasted just 2 deliveries in the first innings before he was LBW to Tom Bailey. He's keeping the strike. He's a bowler who can bat, is Brett Randall. Just looking at his career stats, 662 runs at 16, including 4 50s and a best of 90 not out. 90 not out would do very nicely for Somerset here this morning, but I think he might struggle against Luke Wells with his fizzing googlies. The ball that he bowled Lewis Gregory with really did fizz through as well. Witness the fact it knocked the middle stump out of the ground, and was much too good for Lewis Gregory, who didn't pick the googly. Here comes Wells to Randall, who's back on his stumps and playing and missing. Nicely taken by Matty Hurst.
It was a good catch, wasn't it? A bit of bounce there for Wells.
It was, yeah. He's tall, obviously, Luke Wells. What is he, 6'3"?
Probably.
Something like that, 6'4" even, possibly. So he does get bounce, and he's bowling his googlies at a good pace, and Randall back on his stumps, defending this one. How long has he been bowling this style of spin, Scott? Because he's in all the reference books as bowling off breaks.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time he had bowled too much off spin.
He's in again now, wrist coming over, and again the googly coming back into the right-handed batsman.
I think you may occasionally see it, but I think now for certainly 3 years or so, 2 or 3 years now, this has kind of been, and he's worked a lot on this. He put a lot of time in the winter a couple of years ago on developing his leg spin. It's helped him in white ball cricket as well.
He's in the bowls. He's short, pulled away by Randall, and it's going to beat Bohannon to the boundary. So that's the first boundary of the morning. No, it's not. It's the second boundary, isn't it? Because Craig Overton hit a 4. It's 214 for 8, and Randall moves on to 5.
It's actually probably something he's used more in white ball cricket, and then he's developing it and trying to become a reb off an option with the red ball with his leg spin. I mean, for the last couple of years, he's bowled pretty much 4 overs in every T20 match.
Well, it's a very useful weapon that he's got. This is short again.
Yeah.
He can't afford to bowl half trackers, and Brett Randall whacks that away through mid-wicket for another 4.
Guess you're going to get the odd one, aren't you, I suppose?
He didn't bowl. I think he just bowled 1 short ball yesterday evening, but he was bowling a good full length most of the time. 218 for 8. Randall on to 9. Last ball of the over as Wells is in and bowls, and that one doesn't bounce very much, and fizzes through on Randall, who plays it well out into the onside. End of that over. Luke Wells 11 overs, 3 for 35, and Somerset 218 for 8.
Well, just to flag up as well that on the BBC Sport website and app as well, you can select your championship team of the year. That's available for you to have a go. You can get your votes in now and tell us all about your favourite 11 players of the 2024 season.
Any Lancastrians in your team of the year?
I would certainly give some creditable mentions to 1 or 2, especially Lancashire's captain. He's got 1,000 runs in a team that could get relegated.
Yeah, he could be one of the opening bats.
Anderson, Phillip for Lancashire, right arm round the wicket, in and bowls. Forward goes Roux and defends. And there's no addition to the score. He's on 25, 218 for 8. 2 early wickets here at Emirates Old Trafford. Somerset hopes. Well, the energy all, I would have thought, sucked out of it with that first wicket of the day, and then backed up with 1 in the second over. Still needing a further 175, but Roux is still there. 25 not out. 2 slips away. Phillip for Lancashire in bowls, edged, bouncing in front of Keaton Jennings at second slip, with 3 or 4 yards in front of Jennings. Actually a good stop, actually. It came pretty quickly off the edge of the bat and skipped along the grass, but not a chance for Jennings. The edge there, bouncing in front. Did well to stop it. Could have gone through his fingers, huh?
Again, not much bounce there.
No, there isn't. No.
Anderson Phillip, but it's one of his attributes, the fact that he does skid it through, and decent pace as well.
Here he comes again. And balls to Roux. Drives nicely off the front foot. Through the offside. Picked up by Balderson on the point boundary. Roux moves to 26. 219 for 8. Yeah, certainly Anderson Phillip. His performance last week at Durham. I mean, in a pretty difficult game where Lancashire were well beaten. And then today, in this game, I think he's been maybe something that... I think the phrase that Dale Benkenstein, the head coach, used was a bright spark in what has been a tough year. But certainly that his performances might well get him a chance to come back maybe in the future. He's running hard and he's bowling well. His fielding's been really good. Defender by Randell back down the pitch. He's no run, and I think he can bat a bit. So the energy he's brought to Lancashire, I suspect, will have gone down pretty well in their dressing room.
This is Brett Randall's highest score for Somerset. His previous innings have been 3, 1 and 1. So he didn't have much to beat. But he's on the verge of reaching double figures.
He is, yep. 9 not out. There's Phillip from the Statham end. He's pumping as he comes in and bowls. Driven. It's a full-length ball. 1 bounce back to Phillip, who sticks his left hand out and fields it off his own bowling. And there's no addition to the score.
I do like the fact that all of the stands, barring the temporary stand, are open here at Old Trafford, even if they're fairly thinly populated. It does... down at Taunton, they close off the whole of the big Somerset stand, which gives the almost half of the ground a sort of empty feel and look.
Phillip over the wicket, bowls. Short ball this time, and Randall ducks underneath that. Gets himself well out the way, through to the keeper, Matty Hurst, end of the over, 219 for 8, requiring a further 174.
The reason given for the closing of the Somerset stand is to save money on stewarding and loo cleaning and so on. But wouldn't have said the stands here are over-stewarded. The Lancashire, or the Old Trafford stewards rather, aren't as conspicuous as the ones at Taunton. But I mean, I was looking around when I was sitting outside yesterday afternoon enjoying the sunshine, and there are stewards, but I fancy not. There must be regulations, I suppose, as to how many. There's a steward and his yellow high vis, and he's not got many spectators to steward. As Wells is in and bowls, this is turned down to deep backward square leg by James Rue, and he doesn't take the single, so I think he's probably quite happy to expose Brett Randall to Anderson Phillips' seam, but a little bit reluctant to have him facing up to Luke Wells's Rashid Khan style googlies and flippers and occasional leg breaks. This comes back into the left-hander. Having said that, he takes a single off the second ball of the over, just trots through as he plays that out to deep mid-wicket. The field converges on Brett Randall. 220 for 8. Another 170. This is 3 runs, and that almost bowls Randall. Yeah, he's got it. He's smiling. It's all you can do, really. That was the googly. Oh, goodness me. Well judged.
Great reaction from Randall, wasn't it?
Yeah. Here's Wells. Short and bowled! And Randall, well, it wasn't really short. It was just fractionally short of a length. And Randall's eyes lit up and thought, I can whack this away through mid-wicket. He went for the shot, was late on it, and the stump is out of the ground. And that's the 9th Somerset wicket to go down with the score on 220. The end is nigh.
Yeah, the champagne on ice for Surrey. And Lancashire on the brink of taking it to next week to try and stay in the division. Somerset's wait for a county championship title is going to go into another year.
Yep. Still, they've done well this season, Somerset. They weren't among the more fancied sides for the county championship at the start of the season, unlike Lancashire, who were several people's tips as potential county champions, whereas Somerset didn't seem to have quite such a strong squad as in some previous years, so they've arguably played above themselves. Somerset, 5 wins at home, but this will be their 3rd loss away from home. So they've been good down at Taunton, not so good elsewhere.
Well, if they end up finishing runners-up to Surrey, that's no mean feat against an outstanding side at the Oval. And having reached finals day and having reached the final of the one-day cup, it's a pretty good season for Somerset. Lancashire a few years ago finished runners-up in all 3 competitions: Championship, Blast, and the one-day cup. And yeah, that was a bittersweet one. It's almost what could have been, but still, on reflection, you look back and think, goodness, that was a really good year. And Somerset might well be in that position as well.
Right, Scott Reed, I think you better take this on.
Oh dear. Wells in and bowls. That's could be a long stint then. Just worked away off
I was once at Worcester where the 9th Somerset wicket went down at 2:10 and they were still going at 4:15.
I think we'll just stick. We'll stick to ends each.
All right.
You crack on.
Wells, this is the last ball of the over to Jack Leach. And Leach is running this off the face of the bat down to short third man. He survives. And well bowled, Luke Wells. 4 for 36 in 12 overs. And he's just the sort of bowler that you want in your side to knock over a few tail-enders, isn't he? Because they just won't be used to facing that style of bowling.
So yeah, 1 wicket away, 220 for 9. 4 for Wells, 4 for 36. Anderson Phillip sets off again around the wicket and bowls to Root, short and pulled. And they've turned down the run.
I don't see there's much point in turning down.
No, not massively. No, no, I'm a bit confused by that. But there we go. 220 for 9. This could be a long stint, this, couldn't it?
Given Jack Leach's record,
Yeah, exactly.
doesn't need protecting. Most famous one not out in history and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phillip in again. Roo off the front foot pushes this away into the offside, and again they decline the single. So Lancashire have got plenty of fielders back out towards the boundary, trying to get Leach on strike. So they've got 2 slips, haven't they? But there we go. Leg side field, 4 on the leg side, and boundary riders out towards the hotel as well on the offside. 220 for 9. We've only had 25 minutes of play, and banging on the door of the end. It's off the edge of the bat by Root. It trickles down towards the third man, where Balderson fields. Again, there's no run. 220 for 9. Of course, it's not just this game, albeit this is one of very few games that are still going, but there's Hampshire, Worcestershire in Division 1 and Yorkshire's quest for promotion from Division 2. They're at Cardiff this week. They need 3 more wickets to beat Glamorgan. Phillip in to Root. Muscled out towards the leg side. Again, they don't run.
Don't really understand this. I mean, Jack Leach has got 92 to his name in a test match at Lord's against Ireland, and he can bat. And James Roo isn't going to farm the strike through the next 173 runs, is he?
No, the next 91 overs.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. 220 for 9. Field is in now with 2 balls left of the over. Phillip to Roo. That's cut away out towards deep backward point. That's going to be 4 runs. And towards the seating in front of the hotel.
Perhaps that's the plan. That wait until the last couple of balls of the over when the field comes in, and then whack a couple of boundaries.
1 ball left of the over. Roo moves on to 31 with that. 224 for 9. 1 ball left of Anderson Phillips over. Glides back in. Punched to mid-off this time. And there's no run. Well, unless Roo's thinking that Leach is OK facing the spin, and I'll deal with the seam, because it will be Leach to face Wells, who's on the brink of a fifer.
Yep, thank you, Simon White, reminding me it's only the 2nd loss this will be for Somerset away from home. The other one being at Chester Street. And it's not done yet, as Ian Shepherd always look on the bright side of life. Jack Leach strides out at a test match ground in the north, a left-handed ginger at the other end with 55 on his back, a seemingly impossible task. Sounds familiar. It's a reference, of course, to that famous one not out at Headingley back in 2019. Here's Wells into Leach and takes him on the pad.
Yeah, I suppose until it's done, you've got to keep going, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Slip and a leg slip, the close catches, as Wells is in a bowls, and this one bounces a little bit on Jack Leach, but he plays it calmly enough. Rather sort of sat up, that one, rather than fizzing through. Leach, of course, left-hander, so the googly will be turning away from him, and that one I think may have been the leg break. Just seemed to come back into Jack Leach. .224 for 9. As Wells is in and bowls, and this is played comfortably enough. Out to cover point, Will Williams with the fielding. Not so many people here today, which is hardly surprising given that Lancashire at the start only needed 4 Somerset wickets, and it obviously could have been over very quickly as Leach is forward defending, and indeed it may very well be over pretty quickly.
He's had 2 5-wicket hauls in his first-class career, Luke Wells.
On the verge of a 3rd. Just needs the 1 wicket. He's in, bowls to Leach. This is to play that down. George Bell at forward short leg. End of that Luke Wells over. He has 13 overs, 4 for 36. That was a maiden. 224 for 9. Somerset needing another 169 to win. A distant prospect indeed. Looks as though they will finish this game with 193 points, which will be 2 behind Hampshire, who I think will have 195. So it will be Somerset against Hampshire next week for 2nd place in the county championship, as Anderson Phillip is in and bowls, and Rue turns this into the onside, declines the single, and there is approximately £100,000 difference between prize money for 2nd and prize money for 3rd, so the 2 sides will be playing for quite a big stake. But both will obviously be disappointed that they're not in a position to challenge Surrey at the top. County champions elect. Phillip in, bowls to Rue, drives nicely down the ground to Tom Bailey. That long on, declines the proffered single. Field is spread, just the 2 slips. Everybody else out either on the boundary or 20-25 yards inside the boundary. Phillip in his 20th over, taking 2 wickets, 2 for 81. He's in to Rue. Bowled! And that is that. And Lancashire have won. They've beaten Somerset by 168 runs. James Rue last out. Clean bowled by Anderson Phillip for 31. Surrey are the county champions. Many congratulations to everyone at the Oval. They've been the outstanding side in the county championship this season with 8 wins, which is 3 more than Somerset have managed, and 3 more than Hampshire as well. Hampshire and Somerset will play off for 2nd place next week down at Taunton. Lancashire's hopes of avoiding relegation still very much alive, and this game, well, it's finished pretty quickly this morning. Just half an hour's play for Lancashire to take those last 4 wickets, and a fine performance from Lancashire, particularly given that they were bowled out for 140 in their first innings.
Yes, it's some comeback by Lancashire. They live to fight another day. It's congratulations to Surrey, who are the county champions for the 3rd successive year. For listeners on Sports Extra, here's Kevin Howells. And here on the BBC Sport website and app and across Lancs TV, it's been well, it's been a really, really good week for Lancashire, and they've been few and far between through the course of this season, and a real I'm sure, disappointment for Somerset on the back of the finals defeat last weekend. Let's hope they can respond on Sunday at Trent Bridge, and we can see Chris Rimmer for the final time here at Old Trafford. One game left, Chris. Don't pack up the scorebook just yet. One game to go at New Road next week. But after, well, he's been with the club since 1999. It's 9 years as scorer. He's signing off from Emirates Old Trafford, retiring at the end of this season. Congratulations then to Lancashire for this this victory. And yeah, it's been a proper good game of cricket, hasn't it? I know, I appreciate for Somerset real disappointment, but it's been a really entertaining 4 days, I think.
Yep. Well, Somerset a week ago had hopes of the treble. Finals day of the Blast, and still in a position then to challenge Surrey at the top of the county championship. They've still got one of those potential trophies to play for on Sunday when they take on Glamorgan at Trent Bridge in the final of the one-day cup. But been two disappointments, losing in the final of the Blast last weekend to Gloucestershire and being beaten here by Lancashire when they needed a win, Somerset, to have any hope of overhauling Surrey at the top. But yeah, disappointing for Somerset, but well played, Lancashire.
So it ended pretty quickly here today, just half an hour of this final day. Of course, yesterday was another day where things were twisting and turning. It was certainly another eventful third day. We're just going to have a look back at some of the highlights for viewers on Lancs TV, with Somerset coming out to bat in their second innings, losing that first wicket, just the second ball of the day. And then Luke Wells bowling Tom Lammonby, Anderson Phillip trapping Tom Abel LBW for 5, and then George Balderson with a brilliant spell, actually, which really did push, I think, the sense of Lancashire getting a stranglehold on the game, as he picked up a couple of quick wickets. Tom Cadmore, Archie Vaughan was the first to go. Then it became the Wells act, didn't it, last night? Casey Aldridge caught by Hurst, and that left Lancashire needing 4 wickets from this fourth and final day. And it left Somerset needing 189 runs coming into today. In the end, it lasted just kind of half an hour of play. It was that potential, that little rattle of wickets, wasn't it, Anthony? Yesterday, the two Toms, when Abel and Cadmore went, seemed to kind of push it Lancashire's way.
At 109 for 1, with that partnership flourishing between Lammonby and Archie Vaughan, Somerset, you know, we're in with a shout. Let's put it no stronger than that. I mean, 393 is still a mountain to climb, but they'd made a good start. They were going along comfortably, and then the wickets started to fall. Tom Lammonby, Tom Abel, Archie Vaughan, Tom Cadmore, 109 for 1 became 155 for 5. And then with the loss of Casey Aldridge in the last over last evening, it really was a very, very long shot this morning. When Lewis Gregory lost his middle stump to the very first ball of the day, that was more or less that. Yeah,
this is how it all unfolded through the course of the half an hour of play this morning. It was all wrapped up pretty quickly, wasn't it, for by Lancashire. Luke Wells finishing with 4, and Philip finishing with 3 for Lancashire. So let's have a look at these wickets that fell in this first half an hour. This was the first ball of the day. Gregory dismissed by Luke Wells. And then Anderson Phillip, second over of the day. Overton LBW kept a little low, didn't it? Kind of just skidded on. Wells gets another. And the end was nigh, and then it was all done and dusted when Anderson Phillip bowled James Rue for 30 for 31. So it's for Somerset, Anthony. Lancashire go to Worcestershire next week, and they've got aims of trying to stay in the division, which still look slim in truth. They're 15 points away from safety, so they need a lot to happen at Worcester next week to go in their favour. Somerset have got Hampshire, and it's a battle for second, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and well, quite a lot of money on the line. Around about 100,000 difference between second and third. Hampshire go into the game with a 2-point advantage, but Somerset have the advantage of being at home, but should be a good game of cricket.
Should be. Thank you for your company this week, Anthony.
Great pleasure, always a pleasure to come to Manchester and to Old Trafford in particular.
Well, I hope we're I hope we're doing it again next year. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks to Anthony Gibson from BBC Radio Somerset. He's going to be disappearing to go and get his reaction to this game, which has finished in the end with a victory for Lancashire by 168 runs. So here on Lancs TV, we're right at the end, aren't we, of what's been another eventful summer, another season, hopefully where you've enjoyed our coverage of both the men's and women's games and all the various twists and turns. Let's be honest, it's not been an easy season. Lancashire have had their struggles. They've signed off nicely here at Emirates Old Trafford this season, but even when the going's been tough, perhaps on the field, hopefully off it, and for those watching, you've enjoyed it.
And down here in Worcester, Katie, she's directing 5 cameras. Kieran and Josh are operating the ball tracker and the mid-wicket camera. What that enables us to do is get more out of those 2 camera operators. They act like they are 10 camera operators. So the whole point about doing a proper...
At all these, wonder what these do. Don't seem to be bothering them, do they? I'll tell you what will bother them. I'll take this plug out.
You're still with us here, so I don't know whether everyone's going to behave themselves on this while this microphone's live. Now, I suspect what we're seeing here, and I have witnessed this before, is either flies or bees.
This was a lovely shot. Tall man, and he used his height to pounce back and hit it at the top of the bounce.
Warm welcome from Emirates Old Trafford. Here we go again. The Vitality Blast is back.
Look at this. Outstanding. Look at that. That is great.
To Wells, he swatted that out towards the leg side for 6. Brilliant kicks! As Lanky's gone disappearing in towards the stands again, he's played hide and seek, I think, by the looks of it.
The reason we chose the stream from Old Trafford, it's one of the best in the business.
Here we go, C-stand. Who wants a t-shirt? Oh, come on then, give me a shout. Who wants one over there? You guys want one over there. Over there, there we go. What about you guys over the far end? There we go.
Here he goes again, Lanky. Mimicking the fielder down on one mid. Oh my goodness, what on earth is going on? This is Lancs TV at its finest.
(1864). We were first class then, and we're first class now, with a dream to spread cricket through Lancashire's towns, where girls and boys with willow and leather, become more than a badge, but the red rose together.
A club where more than legends are made, but friendships, obsessions, moments replayed on our screens, in our minds, in our hearts forever. 'Cause it's who we are, our DNA, the red rose together.
Statham, Briggs, Jimmy, Freddie and Joss, Chappie, Sir Clive Lloyd, Carol Hodges, Kate Cross. What a roll call. It's a hard one to measure, with future names still to be written on the red rose together.
We're all about people. It's what the red rose really means. Yeah, the ones signing autographs, but the ones behind the scenes.
Our community, grassroots, the ones that feel tethered. Whether you're from here or belong here, we're the red rose together.
And what about this place? Talk about world-class venues, internationals, gigs, events. You can choose from a menu of triumph, of disaster, of pain, or pleasure.
We've seen it all at Emirates Old Trafford, with the red rose together.
Red ball, white ball, lightning and thunder.
Have you ever sat back? Have you ever just wondered how far we've come? The storms we've weathered, or how far we'll go as the red rose together.
Welcome to Conrad Dubai. Here's your key.
Thank you. Let me help you with the bags.
Nice room.
How's that? How's that?
How's that?
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
Will these two stay out there after a drink? And that's a huge sip. Over to the Hilton review system. 3 reds, no doubt at all. And up goes the finger. When it has to be absolutely plum, it matters where you stay.
Hi, I'm Keaton and this is Luke. We are the giraffe opening pair at Lancashire Cricket Club. We are here today at the Mestoria Estate Agents. Let's see what they have in store for us. One of the highlights for me probably was making my test debut. You aspire to play international cricket, and I think for me making that test debut in Mumbai was a special moment I think I'll look back on.
Property is potentially an option that, well, I've already started to go down. I'd like to explore more options in the future for sure. I've seen how positive an investment strategy that can be.
If I could, I'd get a little clay pigeon shot up in the garden. I'm not entirely sure the neighbours would be all too happy with it, but yeah, a little clay pigeon trap.
The idea of dealing with the day-to-day stress of everything that comes with being a landlord isn't something that I would necessarily want to be a part of, to be honest. So using an experienced agent like Mistori would definitely be something I'd be interested in.
I think it's not devilishly good looks, to be entirely honest. I'm not sure where the reference comes from.
I think it's fairly self-explanatory.
I think just making sure the advice you're getting is aligned with the goals. It's a big investment, it's a large chunk of your savings, so to make sure it's taken care of and taken care of in a really sort of professional manner.
Certain bits of it, but the heritage of it is actually everywhere you look. So there will be a new heritage of the English as I've done over the last year. So many people say they're both.
Hi Noah. Nice to meet you.
Can you believe it? No. I can't stop smiling. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, that's it.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all-out action all the time. All welcome, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Have fun. Catch. Throw. Try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk.